What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a super exciting Liverpool transfer news video, and various journalists and newspapers are reporting that Liverpool are ready to meet the release clause of the defensive midfielder Manuel Ugarte, who is just 22 years old. He is a Uruguay international and I think he's exactly what we need, and we can't rely on Fabinho playing every game next season. Bajcetic is only 18 years old, and when Fabinho has a loss of form or an injury, we don't expect Bajcetic to fill in for him and produce world-class performance after World Cup performance week in, week out. Henderson's legs are gone. Henderson should be phased out and he should be only a bench player, even though he still thinks that he will go strong next season, Henderson. His performances have been very inconsistent as well. So I think Liverpool need a brilliant defensive midfielder like Manuel Ugarte. He's the perfect age profile, and yes, we are interested in Declan Rice as well, but Declan Rice would cost 50% more than Manuel Ugarte at least. And Ekrem Kanur has tweeted that Liverpool are ready to meet the 60 million euro release clause of Sporting Lisbon's 22-year-old Uruguayan midfielder Manuel Ugarte. That is like 54 million pounds. And also Manuel Ugarte's agent has confirmed that he's set to leave Sporting Lisbon at the end of this season. So if you are excited about this news, leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here, and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool FC. And his representative, Manuel Ugarte's agent Jorge Chillane, has partnered with Jorge Mendes ahead of a summer transfer, and Jorge Mendes, I think, was the agent of either Luis Diaz or Darwin Nunez, I think, I forgot. But one of the Liverpool players who recently resigned from South America, Jorge Mendes, was his agent, and so we already have a good relationship with him. And the agent of Manuel Ugarte said it's almost certain that Manuel Ugarte won't stay at Sporting. I'm sure he will leave this summer. And he was specifically asked about Liverpool, and he said Liverpool, they are not the only club interested, but Liverpool are definitely interested in my client Ugarte, but there are other clubs as well. There is a lot of talk, but I'm still not sure about which club Manuel Ugarte will join. There are many proposals on the table, and basically this confirms that Liverpool are one of the clubs that Manuel Ugarte's representative has talked to, and I think Liverpool's representatives have already, talked to Manuel Ugarte, and he's definitely interested. And the Daily Mail is reporting that Liverpool are ready to meet the 52 million pound release clause. And according to the English media, Liverpool are the strongest candidate to sign Manuel Ugarte. Portuguese outlet Record claim that the Anfield chiefs, the Anfield, contract or transfer negotiators are set for talks with Ugarte, who could be a cheaper alternative to Declan Rice and to other midfielders. Manuel Ugarte's best position is the defensive midfield role, but he can also play as a box-to-box midfielder. He's very physical, very tenacious. He has the good work rate, the engine, the midfield dynamo that we need in the midfield. And I think Liverpool need at least 3 midfielders this summer to come in after 4 midfielders are leaving the club. Yes, Bajcetic could be seen as kind of an addition, a new transfer, because we basically brought him up from the youth teams, the reserve teams, the under 21, under 23 teams, and he has been like a new signing. But as I said, I don't want to rely on Bajcetic. I don't want to only rely on Fabinho. I want Liverpool to have another option for the defensive midfield role. And Ugarte is also not injury prone. He has played 83 games since the summer of 2021. He arrived for just 5 million pounds. So Sporting will probably get 10x profit on him, which is a brilliant piece of business. Other midfielders that Liverpool are linked with, of course, we are still moving ahead with talks with Alexis McAllister, Mason Mount, Ryan Gravenberch, and we are also interested in Nicolo Barella as well, who played brilliantly in Inter's 2-0 win against AC Milan yesterday evening. Inter could have been 4-0 up or 5-0 up. They scored 2 goals, they hit the post, they almost got a penalty which was overturned by VAR, but yeah, Inter played brilliantly and Barella was instrumental in Inter's success, so I would love to see him at Liverpool, but maybe he wouldn't want to leave Inter when they are about to finish at least in second place in the Champions League. So they have one foot in the final, and I'm not sure if Barella would want to leave Inter to Liverpool side, who has been struggling this season. But who knows, we might finish in the top 4 this season. We have the Leicester game on Monday, and by that time we will know all the results from the weekend, so hopefully Liverpool will find themselves in a good position. And we might not pay the release clause of Manuel Ugarte straight away. We might submit a bid of around £40 million just to see whether Sporting would be interested in to do a deal lower than Manuel Ugarte's release clause, but I think ultimately £52 million for a very talented international footballer who is exactly what Liverpool need. It's not like out of this world money. It's not unthinkable that Liverpool would pay this amount. I mean, we paid exactly this amount for Naby Keita like 5 years ago, and it has turned into a disaster of a transfer. At the time, Naby Keita was one of the most exciting and one of the most high profile talented midfielders in the world. Nobody foresaw what kind of injury problems he would have at Liverpool. And yes, the transfer turned out to be a bad transfer in the end, but at the time many people were very excited about Naby Keita, and he had like 1 or 2 good seasons, but 3 very bad seasons at Liverpool. Hopefully Ugarte will be an even bigger success. And I mean, £52 million right now would be like almost £100 million 5 years ago, judging by the crazy inflation that is going on. Almost like probably 75-80 million in 5 years ago. So because the transfer fees are constantly going up, £50 million is not as big as £50 million 5 years ago. That's what I'm meaning to say. And Liverpool have to move quickly and decisively if we want to get this deal done, because other clubs are lurking. Arsenal are interested, Tottenham are also linked with Manuel Ugarte, and the super agent Jorge Mendes will help the representative of Ugarte find a new club, with Liverpool reportedly the front runners to secure the deal. I mean, the agent said, "Soon I will be in Lisbon. I trust Jorge Mendes, who is the best businessman in the world." When I told him about Ugarte for the first time, he said to me, "Your eyes are my eyes," basically meaning he trusts him that Manuel Ugarte will be a very talented player to work with. And he said that in 2 weeks the situation might be resolved, which means that by the time the Liverpool finish the season, we could have already 1 or 2 transfers pretty much confirmed by the football club, which are very exciting. So what do you think about Manuel Ugarte? Do you think Liverpool should pay his release clause, or do you think we should try a more lower offer first? I think around 40 million is not low enough that Sporting would immediately walk away from negotiations, but it would show also that we are serious about getting the player, and I think Manuel Ugarte is definitely a player that we need, because of the reasons that I previously mentioned. And I also want to talk about Thiago, because many people are maybe doubting his future at Liverpool after having another injury-ravaged season, but you also have to take it into account. Liverpool had so many injury problems previously during the season that we have overplayed Thiago. He had a stretch of games where he had to pretty much play every single game, and we also didn't surround him with people who have stamina, work rate, running ability. So Thiago had to sometimes play as a defensive midfielder, which is such a waste of his talents, because he's not physical enough and strong enough to do that role properly week in, week out, and his hip injuries have resurfaced. But when Thiago arrived, we all immediately saw his absolute technical brilliance, his passing rate, his control of the game was second to none, and he can also drop a shoulder and beat people. The style of the team, of course, shifted to a more technical style at Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson would supply the crosses and the ammunition from the flanks, but the likes of Gini Wijnaldum with his incredible engine and work rate was never replaced, and Milner and Henderson got old and slow, and Fabinho, especially in the first half of the season, got old and slow as well. The recruitment department at Liverpool clearly had a vision to supplement the midfield area last summer. Testament, we wanted to sign Tchouaméni. But when we failed to sign him, I think it was a big mistake not to sign another player. I mean, Arthur Melo doesn't count. It was a last day emergency loan signing, and he pretty much never played. And Thiago was tasked with becoming a combative box-to-box engine, which inevitably broke his body and it broke him down. And last season, when rotation with Naby Keita was possible and the rest of the squad didn't have as many injuries, Thiago played 39 games when he could be rotated. This season, when a lot of midfielders were injured, Naby Keita included, Thiago had to be overplayed. Evidence: 28 games played this season for Thiago, an injury-ravaged season. To surround an elite player with the components to elevate the team is required. Look at Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. Real Madrid are signing players like Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Valverde, Jude Bellingham, who can run for days. And if you surround these people like Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, who are world class by the way in their positions and their roles, with quick players with the physicality, the running ability, the engine, the work rate, you name it, all those Real Madrid midfielders got it. And if Liverpool could do it with Thiago, surround him with players with the running ability, engine, work rate, stamina, like youth, energy. If you supply Thiago with these kind of midfielders, he will thrive. And also, he has to be rotated. He can't play 3 games per 8 days, because he will constantly get injured. Thiago should be saved for our biggest games, our most important games. When you play Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, Tottenham, the biggest Champions League games. That's when Thiago could shine. And against the smaller teams, he could be rotated. And also Trent Alexander-Arnold being molded into something new. He could learn so much from Thiago if we retained Thiago for another 2 or 3 seasons. So I want Liverpool to extend Thiago's contract, successfully transitioning into Liverpool's next phase. Liverpool 2.0 requires new signings, new blood, and it also requires certain players that can guide and influence the team and the younger players in this period, and Thiago could be very, very vital in that. We cannot expect Liverpool to become exactly the team that we were by allowing world-class players to walk away. Liverpool have to retain their best players and also supplement them with great young talent. Thiago should have his contract extended and used in the major games, and in the lesser games we can use other players. That's why we need at least 3 midfielders in my opinion. And this is what a huge club, a big club should do, like Liverpool. This is what Real Madrid have done with their midfield. And I mean, the Real Madrid success speaks for itself. They won so many Champions Leagues in the past 15 years, 10 years. I mean, Luka Modric alone has 5 Champions League trophies. Not many clubs in their entire history have 5 Champions League trophies, so that says a lot, I think, and Liverpool should replicate this. And I still consider this Jurgen Klopp era a missed opportunity for Liverpool. If we had maybe a little bit more ambitious or richer owners, imagine if Jurgen Klopp could just sign 1 or 2 more players to get over Manchester City and to get over Real Madrid in the Champions League. We should have 3 Premier League titles. We should have at least 2 or 3 Champions League trophies under Jurgen Klopp. But we still can do it if we sign the right players, and if Liverpool get back to the consistency that they showed last season. You know, it's more likely that Liverpool will fight again for the top 4 next season than for the title, but I really hope that the owners dig deep into their pockets and hopefully they will sign the right kind of players. Also, a lot of criticism for Darwin Nunez recently. Yes, he slowed down his goal scoring in the second half of the season, but that coincided with Diogo Jota and Darwin Nunez coming back, Gakpo hitting form. So Darwin Nunez's game time has been limited, but still, in the limited game time that Darwin Nunez played, he has one goal shy, matching goal contributions to the likes of Sadio Mane's first season, Bobby Firmino's first season, Dirk Kuyt's first season, Peter Crouch's first season. He already has more goals than Andy Carroll got throughout his whole Liverpool career. So I think that Darwin Nunez should be cut some slack. And I mean, he probably won't become as good as Luis Suarez. Many people were comparing them when he signed because they looked a little bit similar. They are both from Uruguay, they are strikers, they are pretty much almost the same age when they joined Liverpool. But you also have to take it into account. Luis Suarez joined a Liverpool team struggling, and they were a top 4 team, not even a top 4 team. They played in the Europa League, and Luis Suarez made them almost champions. I mean, we were one game away from winning the title with Luis Suarez, and he probably had the best individual Premier League season by any Liverpool player in the history, maybe bar Mo Salah, but goals to games ratio, he definitely had the best season in Liverpool's Premier League history. So I still have hope that Darwin Nunez will come good, but we need to have, of course, a better midfield to supply him with balls, and also he needs to be more calm, more composed, more ruthless in his finishing. And yeah, let me know, how do you see Darwin Nunez's development going forward? I think next season he will score 20-25 goals if he plays regularly at Liverpool. And I mean, we should probably try him out as a number 9, as a centre forward, and we should have Luis Diaz and Mo Salah bombing up and down. And hopefully, if we have 2 defensive midfielders, maybe put Gakpo just behind Darwin Nunez. I mean, we played like that once or twice this season. This 4-2-3-1 formation is not the worst idea, I think, going forward. I think Jurgen Klopp will figure out how to get the best out of Darwin Nunez. For first seasons to go, I think it has been pretty decent, because he scored the majority of his goals in the first half of the season. This second half, of course, it has been slower, but he also didn't start a lot of games. So you cut some slack for Darwin Nunez, that's all I'm gonna say. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.